Cloze passage is one of the interesting techniques which is used for the students to help them develop reading skills, vocabulary, and also critical thinking skills. Now this is applicable for grades 6 to 12th mainly. The idea is there is one passage, some of the words would be omitted or deleted. Now these words could be deleted based on the vocabulary, based on the critical ability to think or some other criteria, and the student are asked to fill in the blanks with that with either the choices of the words which are given or independently without it. But this would definitely help in developing the critical and the analytical skills of a child. So here let's say let me go to one of the examples where we have taken like a passage, that is a close passage is reading that increases the reading comprehension. Now reading, if you write passage, it becomes an incorrect option. So the correct option would be strategy. Now this blank is given willingly, and the idea is the student should be able to fill it. For example, a dash passage is a piece of dash in which dash have been dashed throughout. So a closed passage is a piece of text where words have been, rather than removed, we can say omitted throughout. And this is how we would fill in the blanks. So what is the basis through which we identify the success levels of this? Now, first is the student would be at the first go asked to read the complete passage, then understand the meaning of the passage, get familiar to it, probably reread it, and then identify what could be the words. Sometimes the familiar words and the meaning of them which are not known are to be identified. Sometimes new meanings are to be assigned to the word. Noun, verb, adjective, adverb could be some of the categories that could be taken into account. Also, that has to be there has to be a great knowledge of grammar and syntax that must be taken into account. So this would ensure that there has been a proper idea which has been laid out. Now, when you are going through, you yourself would get an insight whether it is referring to a definition, whether there are synonyms that have to be used, antonyms or contrast, general reference or punctuation. For example, access to clean water would ameliorate and improve the living conditions. Now this is the definition. Now when I am using synonym or restatement, I would say that the life would become tolerable. If I am using contrast, I would say that this would become the life would become good, but continued reliance on polluted river would exacerbate the bad situation, right? Then we have the general context where we would talk about how to focus on finding food or shelter or the needs, why we are talking about clean water as one of the important source. So here the idea is the context actually gives you the clues for new words that you need to use. Okay, also we need to understand that there could be a word, a paragraph or a phrase that could be inserted where there is a fill in the blank, and this would give us indication how do we actually use and study the context. So closed passage, I can say in summary, is a strategy where you learn to predict and verify the meaning of the words you are not familiar with. Sometimes if you are familiar with the words, you need to search a new and the unusual meaning for it. That could be either as words, sentences or paragraphs within the text. So this is one of the important ideas that you must be familiar with. Now again, this is one of the important topics this time, important for your paper 1. The detailed lectures and the description for paper 1 lectures is available in the box below for description. Thanks for joining in today.